Hey, hey, it's Julie from Do Business Like a Woman. Hello, how are you? So I want to welcome you to day 5 of 5 days of inspiration, how to get more clients with more ease and enjoyment. And let me just adjust the phone. Quite frankly, less struggle. So that's what we're up to. Today is day 5 and we've covered so much this week. It's been so good. We've done about how to have more conviction in your marketing, how to align with the universe and let things be brought to you instead of efforting and struggling. And today I want to talk to you about that very topic and go a bit more in depth. So we are talking about why I think the law of attraction in the way that it's typically taught is BS, and what I've experienced that works way better with a lot more pleasure and enjoyment. So what I noticed for myself in my own business and with my clients is there could be a lot of efforting and struggling and pushing. And you know, this online coaching industry, it's not always easy, right? To get your business working, overcome all the challenges, show up every day. And then there was this kind of hustle culture that went along with it. And I get why, right? I understand why. I was a big part of it too. I've done a lot of personal development over the years. And there's very much this kind of like, rah, like if it's meant to be, it's up to me and all that kind of thing. And I completely understand taking radical responsibility and those kind of things, but the feeling of it was very much efforting. It was a lot of effort and pushing. And what I've come to realize after 10 years in this industry is that this way of working just doesn't feel good anymore. It didn't sit well with me anymore. So over the last year, I've been experimenting with, well, is there a different way that's easier but will still get results? And I'm seeing that yes, there is, and I'm still experimenting with it. But what I have seen is that when we can get our small self out the way and align with universal mind, God, the universe, you know, infinite mind, divine mind, whatever you want to call it, so much more will be brought and given to you than if you just try and create it with your small mind. And that's what I've experienced. You've probably experienced this in your business too. You know, those moments when you can get quiet and get your personal thinking out the way, leave space for real inspiration. And some of my best coaching programs have come out of that space, right? Not out of my own mind of something the personal small Julie, thought up. Rather, it's like a divine download. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments. I know you do. So what I've been experimenting with is more and more getting myself out the way, the personal self out the way. Now, I'm not saying it's easy all the time. The biggest challenge when you kind of start to get this awareness is because we feel our thinking, right? We feel our own personal thoughts. So we're not feeling the outside circumstances. We're like, oh, well, I don't have enough clients, right? I hear this from people. I don't have enough clients, so that's why I'm feeling stressed. No, you're feeling stressed because how you're thinking about that. And it's like, this is something that I know is truth. And at the same time, we always think that our circumstances are the exception, right? So it's like, well, yes, that's true, except for this one situation in my life, right? You know, maybe it's your relationship, or maybe it's something in your business, or whatever it is. It always feels like the exception, but it isn't. It isn't. And this is what I'm playing with. This is what I'm experimenting with. And ultimately, it's divine truth, right? But what I have seen in my business over this year and throughout my business journey is the more that I can stop trying to control everything with my small mind. And I have realized we don't need to effort half as much as we think we do. Now, it doesn't mean we just sit there on the couch and do nothing and like manifest, right? Yeah, there's going to be you've got to take action in your business, right? There's going to be action, but we want to be taking aligned action, and that doesn't come from a busy mind. And what I've seen often, our job is just to take the next step and trust that our needs will be met and that will unfold as it's supposed to. So much of what I support my clients with is helping them cultivate their own trust. Okay? And sometimes, you know, when we have life events, that can be extra challenging. And you know the business, the entrepreneurial roller coaster. So, but this is what I've seen makes it so much easier. And what I noticed about the law of attraction, the typical way it's taught, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, it exists, but the way that it's taught with all the like affirmations and like controlling your thoughts and rooting out your limiting beliefs and replacing them and reprogramming your mind and thought models and mindset work. Oh my God, full-time job. Full-time job. Does anyone else feel like this? Right? Was anyone else like, this is like really hard, like I'm working harder at this than I am at my business, what's going on here? And so there was that element of hustle and efforting there too, and you know, 200 manifestations and all that work rooting out those limiting beliefs. But when we focus on something like a limiting belief, we're just feeding it. Now, what I've seen works better is when we can create some space and get a bit quiet, and then the thing drops in that we're supposed to do. And the truth is, when you do it that way and you align with what I call true desires or divine desires, so these are not the desires like the little me thinks up, like, oh, if I just get this amount of money, or, you know, if I get this relationship, then I will feel good. And that's ego stuff, the stuff we dream up with our little minds. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a relationship or lots of money. You can, anything you want is possible. But what I've noticed is when I say to the universe, okay, show me what you want to create through me, show me your path. Oh, and guess what? That's always turns out to be what I want to do anyway, but not from the ego place. It's such a nuance. It's like, it's actually hard to kind of describe, but a true desire is one of those where it just comes from inside of you, and you're never going to stop because it's your thing, right? It's your life path, it's your mission. And we're not doing it to try and add something onto ourselves. We're just doing it for the joy of doing it, because that's what we do, because that's who we are, right? So it like starts internally, and it's like an outpouring, a sharing. That's true creativity. That is, I believe, divine desires. And when we can get our small self out the way and open up and align with that, and I love to just say a bit of a prayer, a bit of a meditation every day. Universe, you know, how would you use me today? How do you want me to show up? Guide me, please guide me. And especially when I have a really busy mind, thinking, you know, I've just bought a new property, and there's an awful lot of work that needs doing, and there's a lot of mind chatter around that. Okay, where's the money going to come from? What's that going to look like? You know, what is the scope of the work? And then there's some other personal stuff going on as well. And so it's one of those times where my mind can be quite busy. So oftentimes I'll just be saying, okay, how can I quiet my mind? And, you know, it's actually creating more space rather than ramping up and doing more. And I'll be asking the universe to guide me. And if something is looking like a big problem, oftentimes letting it go, taking the hands off. This doesn't come easy for me. I'm a little bit of a control enthusiast. Who else here? Let me know in the comments. You know, it can be difficult to let go and let God, to take the hands off the wheel. But I've noticed my life and business works so much better when I do. What have you seen about this? Leave me a comment and let me know. please give the video a heart or a like. I really appreciate it. If you're over on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so that you get all of my videos. And this is how you create a life of more ease and enjoyment, and all the things that are meant for you just naturally unfold. Lots of love. Bye for now.